be cold outside, but you're heating it up in here, guys.
Watch it, Betty. Mary's home listening, okay?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'd love to get hot with you, Betty, but you know what? I really want to stay married.
You're not the manager. You're a kicker in the crotch.
Yeah, right. Well, you've had oral sex. That's illegal.
No,
and I don't need proof because according to the way you think, it's only thoughts that count, not actions. So you thought about anal sex, and I got you, and I'm going to arrest your butt. Now, why don't you just sit here on the radio like a young lady and admit that you got it. You've been defeated.
Whatever makes you happy.
Oh, we can't admit it, can we? Goodbye, you stem. Yeah, well, that's intelligent. See, I knew you imitated a fart sound. Now I know you've had anal sex, you brain stem. The thing that really gets me about it is why anybody would want to have any kind of sex with you.
Hi, you stem.
Hey, John, I didn't try to learn Spanish, and I guess now you're going to try to learn French. But have you ever tried learning Carney Wilson's language?
No, what language is that?
Jujubes.
You're a show for the liberal media.
How can you justify monetarily supporting child pornography? Let me ask you something. You're a black man. Would you go buy food at that was owned by an openly racist man?
Yeah.
You would?
Maybe.
It figures. Donald, I haven't missed you one iota since you've been gone.
My point.
Why are you back again?
Jay,
Why?
Jay,
Why are you back again, Donald?
Jay.
I haven't missed you the whole time you've been gone. Have you found a job yet, Donald?
Do
you have a gig? Do you have a job, Donald? What job do you do? Do you make a living? Do you have a living, Donald? Do you make a living? Do you have a job, Donald? You put a paycheck in a bank, Donald? How do you live?
Jay, can I finish my point?
Tell me where you work.
Can I finish my point?
No. Goodbye. Get off. You're a brain stem, and I'm sick of you.
I'll kick you in the crotch.
Hey, Marvin. Have you ever noticed that there is the English language, and then there is Marvinese?
I'm not the manager. I'm a kicker in the crotcher.
No, seriously. Where I was asking that guy, Donald, do you make a living? Instead of saying, do you have a job? How can you endorse child pornography? I don't even say pornography. Well, I'll tell you, any of you grade school kids listening to this show, turn it off. You don't want to be me. 1008 WLS, Talk Radio, 890 AM. Jay Marvin, your resident bipolar, manic, depressive, Tony K at the controls.
How about it?
And the G. Hey. Well, Henry's on Wells and Division called.
Yes.
Joe from Henry's. Your tux for Steppen at Club 7 on Club 7 is ready. He has done what you requested, and he has altered the right pant leg for maximum freewheeling action with material against wood.
He is the master.
He is the man. We're going to tape that show this Saturday night, 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get there at 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
This is new to me.
We have to be there at 7:30.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was planning this Saturday night to go out to dinner with a couple of folks, actually, but I can't. I'm not going to do that because I can't. With me, I'll spill on that tux, and no way, pal.
Well, no, you get the no damage insurance with that, right?
Well, I don't want to be on TV with like barbecue stains.
That means if something should happen like that, you're covered.
Yeah, but I'm still going to be on TV. I don't want to be on TV.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh no, we're going to have another night of you being slow.
No. I understand now. You're going to go. You're going to go to eat before the show.
No, I'm not
the taping.
This guy, are you slow? What is the problem? I said I'm not going to go. I ought to kick you in the.
But you're not going to go because you don't want. I understand what you were saying.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, this is Mobile, Alabama all over again. With you.
Hello?
Will you please explain to Grant why it is not possible for me to have anything to eat before we go tape Steppen on Club 7?
Because he'll spill.
He'll spill it on a tux. Yeah, okay. I understand that completely.
Even if you could have insurance, it'd still show up on TV.
I see. Okay.
Because
but what you could do is go out to eat.
But we were going to our favorite place, which is Carson's. Can you imagine barbecue sauce or a rib
Right,
the
but
tuck.
Well, I could bring a bed sheet.
no. What you could do is, just go and eat first, and then come back home and put the tux on.
What time do you want us to start? Noon?
You know,
Do you know how long it takes, Jay, to put a tux on?
forever, man. I hate it.
Yeah.
If this wasn't Herb Kent, and if this wasn't
Well, they
Steppin'
give
on
you
Club 7, I wouldn't do this.
They give you a bib.
Oh, you know what?
They do.
You know what, Mary? You want to kick him in the crotch?
I'm going to kick his leg out from under him.
You know, that wouldn't be a bad thing while we're in the middle of the dance floor.
We could pull his leg off and hit him on the head with it.
Well, while we're in the middle of the dance floor and Grant's, working it out and stepping, we could just, kick his leg out from underneath him and watch him tumble down on the floor.
That would be mean.
Oh, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. All right. Thank you, Mary, for explaining it.
Sure.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Bye.
I love you.
Bye.
I just want to go to the Louvre.
Now, I got something here for you to listen to, and for everyone to listen to. And it is not real clear, and you got to listen very carefully to this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the sound. Somebody sent this to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sound of WLS radio being picked up on a portable radio in Bergen, Norway.
Oh, my.
All right? This is in Norway.
This is just a regular
Portable radio.
portable radio.
This is WLS being picked up in Bergen, Norway. Listen carefully.
Those like talk radio. It's there live. Just there. WLS Talk Radio, 890 AM.
One of a kind. Somehow, some way, we keep the small flame alive. Jay Marvin, 1026 WLS Talk Radio, 890 AM. Don't forget, if you got the stopping day today was heavy, tomorrow will be just as bad. Have it all covered. WLS dependable stop and all traffic starts at 8 a.m. in the morning, and we'll have the WLS Talk 1 traffic stop up there in the air to watch and give you all the routes and malls and parking information. Before the holiday season started, before Thanksgiving, we had very, very... You hear the ignition interference.
About new quotes.
See somebody driving by in a car or a motorcycle.
Deborah Evans and Trajan Addison.
Talking about Deborah Evans and Trajan Addison. Can you make that out?
Yeah, I could.
That's in Bergen, Norway that's coming through. You don't think the signal on this thing gets out? Just think about that, all you very hard-bitten right-wingers. I'm not only poisoning the minds of people in 38 states and Canada, but I'm doing it overseas, too. Well, I was one listener in Bergen, Norway, so if you add that one, Grant, I think we're up to 7 listeners now. Don't you think?
Proud of them all. Thank you in Norway.
Thank you to all
for
7 of you.
Yeah.
And don't forget to join us at the Salam Restaurant located at 700 West 79th Street. That's February the 17th. About 12 noon. You buy your own lunch because we're broke, but we'll meet you there. We'll eat lunch. We'll have a good time. And we've already got possibly a place lined up in Indiana for March. So we're taking it to the streets. 591-8900, area code 312, WLS.
Grant Park, after Claude Zamone kicks him in the crotch.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Maybe I should make a recording of that and take it. I think Claude would probably, Mr. Simone would probably, I call him Mr. Simone, would probably get a big kick out of that. WLS.
In a bathroom in Paris yesterday, Grant was arrested for pinching a loop.
Hello?
Yo, this...
WLS.
I had chokes. Here we go. It takes my computer a little time to load.
Joking. What do you want me to do about it? Call 911. Why don't you call? You're closer.
Newt Gingrich is a child. WLS.
I kicked Brett in the crotch, but I don't want to get a splinter.
You didn't find that amusing, Grandma?
Pipsqueak.
WLS.
Hello, Jay. Ron here.
Mr. President, nice of you to check in.
Hey, you know that other night when you weren't there?
Yeah?
Nancy and I, got lucky. I was having some...
How's that, Mr. President?
Well, I thought I had the wrong station. I got out the aluminum foil and made Nancy's legs open up like an antenna, wrapped her legs in tin foil, and stuck them out a window.
And what'd you get?
Well, it was no Margaret Thatcher, let me tell you that.
Oh, no.
Get out of here.
Okay.
WLS.
Tonight, the Port of Grant Park is being played by Borgie Tire Biter.
Oh, I love this. Is he going to play it? Oh, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't play the cut. Damn him. WLS.
I dropped my spoon in the water.
Thank you, Sid Vicious. Back from the grave.
Okay.
WLS.
Grant, come out of the loop with your hands up.
Okay.
Hey, Grant, you want to go see the loop? Okay, I took that out. That one will never make it.
Yeah.
That one will never make it. And for the person who called up and said that, you know what? You have my heartiest congratulations on no sense of humor. Did you get it? I got it. Who was it? You'll tell me later who it is? No, you'll tell me now. Well, you know what? You tell him that I said, don't you like that when you're like like we're having a conversation between the two of us and nobody else exists? That's what's called inward focus in this business, okay? There's a lot of people on the air in this town who suffer from inward focus. I'm not generally one of them that suffers from inward focus. I usually suffer from outward focus, usually around the stomach area. You know what I'm saying? Well, you tell him, he's like, he's like on the, that's like taboo. We do not do that. WLS.
Baba Booey.
Oh, big deal. Who cares?
Marvin, the attack dog of the left.
Who cares? Not impressed. WLS. That's really good, pal. Okay. You were just starting to choke. Why don't you just take it all the way? All right, and go into full cardiac arrest. Okay. What are you practicing for the recasting of Deep Throat? WLS.
Baba Booey.
Oh, that's really clever. We like that. Isn't that great? Let's all laugh. WLS.
Grant's only got 3 friends. His right hand, his left hand, and Woody.
Yeah, all right. All right, give it to the kid for inventiveness. WLS.
I love Paris. Springtime. I love Paris.
In the fall.
I just want to go to the Louvre.
Come on.
Okay.
That is, we have got the best listeners, man. That is so hip. That is so hip. He roasted you, pal. He roasted you. We should get an instant replay on that baby. That's a keeper. That's a keeper. WLS. WLS. WLS.
Some more, you two.
Oh, yeah. Turn it up. Yes. Bono rules. You know, I'd like to have a station that plays nothing but U2. Rock and roll. That is smoking. All right, name me one band right now that's better than U2. I knew you couldn't do it, Grant.
Well, there are plenty of bands that I like better than U2.
Oh, like who?
Well,
currently on the scene, like who? I know, Hootie and the Blowfish.
Well,
right?
No, not
Yeah, Hootie and the
necessarily.
Blowfish. Green Day?
Simply Red.
Simply Red. Oh, God, Simply Red. Oh, man, I ought to kick you in the crotch. Simply Red sucks. You know... I mean, do you have like any albums or CDs by U2? Why don't you put them on and listen to them?
I do have
even if they never
all
record,
of their CDs.
Even if they never record another thing again, they'll be 100% better than Simply Red. Hey, Grant, how about simply this, okay? You know what I'm saying, pal? 1021 on WLS Dependable Weather and Traffic. Here is a man who wants to go see the Loop, Grant Park.
There is a chance of light snow or flurries overnight tonight, remaining very cold. This could be the coldest night yet. However, even colder over the weekend. Low 5 below downtown, 10 below in the partly sunny.
I saved us.
Partly sunny, bitterly cold tomorrow. High around 0, with the wind chills near 45 below.
Come on.
Record cold expected.
Come on.
Tomorrow night.
Come on, you don't dig Simply Red.
Yeah, I do like Simply Red a lot. Yeah.
Geez. If I were you, I'd hang myself.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Because that music is so lame.
I was joking around. Of course, they're not as good as U2. I'm a big U2 fan.
That music is so lame.
No, it's
Simply
not
Red.
lame.
Yes, it is. Who's the program director at NUA? Grant wants a job over there.
I don't know if they play Simply Red at
Well, sure they
NUA.
do. They play everything that's sloppy and slow. The Point, NUA. What else? What are these other stations? The Light Bulb? Why don't you get a job at the Light? At the Light Bulb?
I don't. I'd fall asleep.
Then you can go over there and play Simply Red until you fall over.
The light would go out.
Simply Red. Oh, man. How lame.
You would never give them a chance.
No, because they suck.
Well, you don't know. You never really heard their
Yes,
stuff.
Oh, you're right. That's it. That's your argument. I've never heard them. What did I just say to you 5 minutes ago?
Oh, you heard them in passing.
No. I was in the store for like 30 minutes, and I listened to like 5 songs, and I said to the guy, I go, man, can we have something a little bit more, a little bit more, can we rock a little bit here?
Well, that's your preference, but there are some people who like that. Well, I think it's fine that you like the rock. That's great, but there are some people who like music like that.
Why are you such a wuss?
Oh, I'm not being a wuss.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you are.
I'm just defending.
Yeah, crap.
4 below at O'Hare, 1 below Midway.
Do you think Simply Red appears at the Louvre?
One below.
Maybe they'll be making an appearance in Mobile, Alabama.
4 below in DuPage County. The lakefront temperature 0. The wind chill is 23 below. The roads are in good shape here as usual. The way things have gone for this week here, there's been no overnight road work scheduled. And the expressways and the tollways are moving without incident here for the late night. No accidents or problems. In Gary, they are working on a fire at Broadway and 7th.
Hey, Grant, it's Simply Red.
In the fall.
It's Simply Red, Grant.
I just want to go to the Louvre.
Broadway and 7th is this 211 alarm fire in Gary. This report brought to you by WCIU-TV, Channel 26 Friday at 6, meet Christoph St. John from The Young and the Restless. You won't be restless during the Jim J. and Tammy Faye Show, Friday at 6 on WCIU, Channel 26. Our next look at dependable traffic and weather at 10:50, WLS Talk Radio, 890 AM.
I'm Rokan.
Hello, I'm Gary Meyer.
Next time we get together,
What's
it's
gonna happen?
cold outside.
Really?
Yes. Be
I've
very
been
careful.
under a rock. What should I do?
Plus, V-chips in televisions. They're coming to a TV set near
What?
you. V-chips.
V-chips. I love those with a little salsa. Oh, delicious.
Plus, O.J. Simpson says he never hit Nicole.
Right.
And the 10 other greatest lies of all time. Rowan Gary, afternoons 2 to 6 right here. Talk Radio.
Discover Kentucky Lake Barkley. 3 acres lakefront, $34,900. 3 acres lake access with nearby boat launch, $9,800. Call 1-800-816-LAKE. Kentucky's Lake Barkley is a huge 60,000-acre lake. Southwestern Kentucky enjoys the same climate as the Carolinas. That is, 4 seasons with a very short, mild winter. In fact, they're beginning to enjoy a beautiful, warm spring already. If you're looking for a real lake bargain in an upbeat, clean, traffic, and crime-free area with a warmer climate, come visit Kentucky Kentucky, Lake Barkley. Call 1-800-816-LAKE for 3 acres lakefront with electric, telephone, and central water on a blacktop road for just $34,900. Or 3 acres lake access for $9,800. Call 1-800-816-LAKE. That's 1-800-816-LAKE. Call today for 3 acres lakefront, $34,900, or 3 acres lake access for $9,800 on Kentucky, Lake Barkley. Call Woodbridge Incorporated, 1-800-816-LAKE. It will exceed your expectations.
How would you like to work a few hours a week and have the potential to make serious money without any employees? Well, people from all walks of life are doing just that in the 900 number industry. Hi, my name is Paul Hickey, and if you don't know what this incredible business opportunity can offer you, and very few people do, you need to call for my free 60-minute audio cassette. My audio cassette will teach you why Entrepreneur Magazine reported that people with 900 numbers are making an average of $38,000 and up to $790,000 profit per year. My free audio cassette gives you an insider's edge on how to make money 24 hours a day, whether you're on the golf course or at the beach. You'll also learn how some of our clients put cash in their pockets the very first week they got started.
To get my free 60-minute audio cassette, you need to call 1-800-523-9700. Call right now. That's 1-800-523-9700. And remember, ask about our next free seminar coming soon to your area.
We asked people with dental work how to make nonstick free dent gum better, and they told us.
Make it softer to chew. Make the flavor last longer.
So we did. Introducing softer chewing, longer lasting free dent.
Hey, this is much easier to chew.
And not just easier to chew, easier to keep chewing, because the flavor lasts longer.
Yeah, the flavor really keeps going.
New improved free dent.
It was my idea. No, it was my idea.
What a great idea. Try softer chewing, longer lasting nonstick free dent. It's better than ever.
I was a big Nestle Quick fan until last year. That's when I tried rich chocolate Ovaltine. Believe me, it didn't take long to switch from Quick. Ovaltine has an amazing chocolate taste, and it's loaded with vitamins and minerals, and no fat. So why not drink something that tastes great and is good for you? Hey, I'm not a kid anymore, but when I want something cold and chocolatey, I feel like an Ovaltine. I feel like an Ovaltine.
I really like this guy. I mean, I've never felt anything for anyone that I've ever been with as a trick. No, I don't think I should see him again. But I look for him. I went out last night. I was looking for him.
Can't get through on the phones, but got something on your mind? Just post it to WLSAM@AOL.com. Navigating the information superhighway. WLS, Talk Radio 890 AM.
Very good, Tony K. Elizabeth Shue. She's from Chicago, and she is hot. And if you haven't seen Leaving Las Vegas, you ought to check it out. 1029 WLS, Talk Radio 890 AM. Jay Marvin. Under siege, under-recognized, underrated, but somehow keeping the flame of democratic dialogue alive. Don and Rome of the Breakfast Diner coming up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. The story of Bill Clinton and the 3 call girls. Ed Curran, embarrassing prisoners. Rowan Gary, the V-chip and the bitter cold. And man, it is cold out there. And then Catherine Johns will be back at 10 with the what is she doing? With kids' problems. What's the kids' problem? What's the problem with kids? Excuse me. I'm sorry. What's the problem with kids? I got distracted by that by thinking about the show that she had on before I came on about the last hour there about cyber sex and about that woman who met that guy online. Man, I was saying to her, as much as I'm involved with the internet, I never get into those chat rooms and things because, those people, a lot of those people in those chat rooms are like squirrels. I don't want to deal with it, I really don't. All right, area code 312-708 or 847 or 815-591-8900, or if you're in Norway, I don't know what the hell the country code is for the United States, but you'll have to figure it out. This is another one of these stories kind of like last night, where on the face of it, this thing really looks correct, but there's something about this that bothers me, and I can't pin it down. Maybe it's because I've been in this position before, and maybe a lot of you have been in this position before. And you feel that, you can identify with the idea of, once again, this invasion of privacy and the idea that, well, I got to read you the story. And I think that those of you that have caused, when you were in high school, if you were a troubled child, quote unquote, in high school, or if you're a troublemaker or a class clown or a goof off or rebellious or whatever the story was, you know, I mean, if you were like me and you just didn't care and you were hell-bent and anything you could do to get out of school because you felt that it was prison and that what they were teaching you basically weren't interested in. Of course, then you find out later in life you blew it, but I think you'll be able to identify with this story. I think you'll be able to get this. And I want to know from you if you think this is a good idea. Because I think on the face of this, this is a good idea, but there's something about this that bothers me. And, you know, I'd hate to think now, after all these years, I'm suddenly going to become like Mr. Right Wing or something here. Class clowns and goof-offs, beware. This comes from the Associated Press. Bloomington High School is trying to teach you a lesson about responsibility. School administrators are contacting local businesses that employ teens and are urging them to ask for students' school records when making hiring decisions. School administrators are contacting local businesses that employ teens and are asking them for the students' school records when making hiring decisions. Administrators hope that the students with poor records will picture their paychecks going up in smoke and get serious about school. We want them to make the most of it while they're here. This is according to Barry Riley. He's the assistant principal. Their attendance at school is probably going to mirror attendance on the job. Now, see, I disagree with that. Riley and fellow assistant principal Cindy Helmers developed a plan to get businesses involved. They know of no other similar program. Grade and attendance records are private, and the school cannot give them directly to businesses. Administrators hope businesses will come to expect students to turn them over when they apply, much as an adult would offer a resume or a reference. Now, do you agree with, does this sound right to you? See, there's something about this that just doesn't sound right. Bloomington High School has about 1,560 students. Its dropout rate has fallen from 9% to about 3%, administrators say, but that has brought a drop in attendance. Now the school has launched the campaign to increase its 89.7% attendance rate. Students with good attendances can win prizes in cash. Classes hold contests to see which ones compile the best attendance records. See, I have no problem with that. But I have a problem with the idea that if a teenager wants to get a job after school, or maybe this teenager needs to get a job to help support his or her family, that the employer, the business, has a right to look at their school records, which is supposed to be private. Now, maybe this is a good idea. I mean, when I heard this and I read this and I thought about this, I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, education is the most important thing you can get because knowledge is power, and you can't. We can't say that enough, and I say that to all of you out there who are 15, 16, 13 years old listening to this show, even those of you that are in your 20s going to college. It's worth it. As much as you might think it's BS now, it'll be worth it to you in the future. Knowledge is power. The more you can learn about things, the better off you are. And I think one of the problems, I think everything in this country revolves around the question of education. I think most of you agree with me on that. That poorly educated public makes for a dumb, prejudiced, stupid, narrow-minded, regressive society. So we want people to be educated. But is this the way to do it? Is this the way to get it done? Is this the way to do it? Is this the way to say that if a 17-year-old who's in a hardship situation... And you know what? Let's forget about the hardship situation. Let's consider this. I had poor grades in school. Bad grades. I'm not going to exaggerate. Let me tell you the way it is. I had poor grades. We're talking D minuses. We're talking C minuses. We're talking maybe 1B. I never saw an A on a report card ever. In the whole time I was in school. Never. I did work. But my attendance record at the job was better than my attendance record at school. Even when I had jobs that I didn't particularly like. I just could not relate to school. I think there are some that are like that. And the school, being the way it is, with the curriculum and all, and being very rigid, it could not relate to me. Now, as I said before, do I agree with the idea? Do I agree with the idea that you should go to school, do the best you possibly can, and be as educated as you can, yes, I agree. I agree with that. If I had to do it all over again, would I take the same course of action? Well, maybe I would, because universally I resent authority. And maybe I would, because I would give the teacher problems, because I just don't want somebody telling me what to do. But you know what? With what I know now, maybe I wouldn't. And maybe I would have paid attention. And I've always said this on the radio. I've said this on WLS a million times. Talk show hosts. We know everything. We must be college educated. We must this, that, and the other. And we never make mistakes. Let me tell you something about me. I mean, there are things that I cannot do because I just never learned how to do them. Because I never paid attention. And I'll give you an example. And Mary and I were having a discussion about this today. Math. I cannot divide. I don't know my multiplication tables. I mean, I know that 5 and 5 is 10, and 5 times 5 is 10, 10 times 10 is 20. I mean, I know that, but I don't know what 7 times 9 is. I couldn't divide 32 into 890. Why can't I do that? Because I never paid attention. Does it mean that I was stupid? No. I just couldn't relate to school. And this gets into this whole thing about kids in school. But it never reflected on my job. It never reflected on my job attendance. And I have I got to say this, I have one of the better work ethics. I mean, even though as much as I sometimes despise management, and I hate structure, and I have a good work ethic. I mean, I show up the majority of the time. I don't have a lot of sick days, and I show up, and I have a tendency not to take all of the vacation that's allotted me, and I was like that even when I was in high school, even with jobs that I didn't dig, like being a dishwasher at a steakhouse, and things like that. I mean, I didn't like those jobs, but I showed up and I did them. And I did them because I lived in a household my parents would not give me any money, and if I didn't do that, if I didn't go do those things, I would not have had any spending money at all. Nothing. I had no choice. So under Bloomington's plan, I would have been out of luck maybe. Because maybe I would have gone to the Iron Horse Steakhouse in Orange, California, and I would have said, gee, I want a job as a dishwasher. And the guy who ran the place, the manager, would have said, well, let me see your school attendance records. Let me see how you're doing in school. And, well, let me see here, Mr. Marvin, you have a D- in English, and you got an F in math, and you were absent 15 days out of the month last month. Well, we really can't hire you, kid. You're going to have to, buck it up when it comes to high school. I don't think that this program would do any good. I mean, I don't think it would work, really, if you think about it. I mean, I'm looking at my own psyche and my own experience. Now, maybe my own experience is not your experience, and maybe you want to call me at 591-8900, area code 312-708 or 847, and maybe you want to call me and say, wait a minute, Jay, I think it will work, and here's the reason why. And maybe it would work with you. But I don't think it would work with me. I mean, I don't think that I would adhere to that. I think that I would either, A, keep looking for a job where somebody would not want my high school records and my attendance records, or B, I would probably get into trouble. Now, has work ethic changed in this country from now to, say, when I was doing it? Well, everything changes. And maybe the work ethic out there has changed. I don't know. You'll have to tell me, because I'm not involved in that. I'm only involved in my own work ethic. And the work ethic of the people that I work with, which is at this radio station, at WLS, is pretty damn good. I mean, Catherine is here every single night. Don and Roma are here every morning. Roe and Gary are here. Ed's here. I mean, we're here. I mean, we do our thing. Limbaugh's here. We do our thing. But I just don't think the program will work. And I think if the student's economically disadvantaged, then you got a big problem. Because once again, I cite my own case. I mean, I was only economically disadvantaged in that my parents were too tight and too cheap to ever give me any spending money. And so if I wanted something, look, maybe there's some of you who have grown up you grew up in this kind of household. You know, if I wanted to go out and buy a Doors album, if I wanted to go out and I wanted to buy a book, because even though I did bad in English, I always read, I had to work an after-school job to get the money to have those things. If I wanted to take a girl out on a date, which I very rarely ever did, because I very rarely ever had weekends free, because I worked, I mean, I had to work to get the money. I never had a car. Most of my friends did. All of those things. I mean, I had to work to get all of those things. So where would that have put a kid like me? Where would I be? Oh. And where does a kid under this program end up when the kid is economically disadvantaged? Area code 312-708 and 847-591-8900. Oh, and don't tell me I have to. Do I have to say something? I guess I do. We have like 4 people that want to talk about this. This doesn't hit home with any of you? You didn't go through this as a teenager? You didn't ditch school? I must be the only rebel left alive who will admit to it. You know, this never ceases to fascinate me that I'm the only person who will ever come forward and say, yeah, you know something? I was a really crummy teenager. I was a rebel. I must be the amazing on the part of some of you brainstems out there. Michael on a car phone. Michael, you're on WLS.
Jay, good evening. How you doing?
Okay, man.
Here's my read. I don't know how this program all came about, and I missed part of your show, but here's my read on employers and kids in school and vocational education and school education. I have a business, and I operate this business, and I have lots of employees, and one of my employees is a young lady who's junior in high school. Not a real good student, but we've all taken an interest. I've had my employees take an interest in her education, and I've tried to bring her along in our business to give her opportunities that we give other employees, but I've also made sure that I get involved in her education. You know, businesses are always encouraged to get involved in the communities and so forth. This is an easy way to do it. Had you gone to work at the steakhouse, for instance, where your manager had a concern not only for your understanding of how that business worked, but maybe how you were doing in school, I think it would have gone a long way with you, because you might have looked up to that manager and said, hey, here's a guy who takes an interest in me and how I'm going to help him in the business.
Well, fundamentally, I don't think you're wrong, but we got a problem here. The way they have this thing set up, as I understand it, is I wouldn't get in the door of the steakhouse without the manager first looking at my school records. And what the idea is that the manager will tell children or kids that, teenagers that do not have good attendance records, well, I guess since you don't have good attendance records, I guess you're not going to make a good employee, and see ya.
Well, maybe the manager needs to get involved, though, with the school program, with the student. If the parents aren't convincing the student that it's important enough to show up at school on time or often enough, and